Hello, my name is Joshua Mugabe. I welcome you to Walking in Insects. We are going to talk about how insects work. The hard cuticle of an insect forms an exoskeleton which supports the body and maintains the shape of the body. We are talking about the hard cuticle. And the hard cuticle is the one that is forming the exoskeleton. Here we have the thoracic segment, which is made up of three parts: the first, the second, and the third. And we have the segment of the abdomen, moving from here, going down. But all these segments are made up of the exoskeleton. And that exoskeleton is the one that is providing support to the body, and it is the one which is maintaining the shape of the insect. The muscles are attached to the inside of the skeleton. The muscles are attached to the inside of the skeleton. Let us first of all look here, and we first of all understand this part of our leg before we continue to understand how the insects move. Now, this is a section of a leg which has been cut, and it is just going to give us just to see what is inside. Here we have the muscles. This is a muscle here, and this one is also a muscle attached to the exoskeleton of the leg. Then we have this muscle here, which is also attached to the exoskeleton of the leg. And at the point here, we have a projection. This is a projection here on which the muscle is attached, and there is another projection here. On this projection also, it's where the muscle is attached. Now let us try to look here. These muscles, this muscle here which we are having here, and this muscle here, they are attaching themselves to the skeleton, inside the skeleton of the leg. That's what we are saying. There are often internal projections which contribute to the firm attachment. So we are saying these projections here. There is a projection here, this projection where this muscle is attached. And we have another projection down here where this muscle is attached. Those are the projections that we are talking about. There is a projection up here, and it is attaching on this muscle, which muscle is attached on the exoskeleton. Then there is another projection here, which is also an internal projection, which is attached to this muscle, and this muscle is attached on the exoskeleton. At each joint, the cuticle is flexible and allows movement. Every joint that we are talking about, we have many joints. There is a joint here, there is a joint here, there is another joint here, we have a joint here, we have other smaller joints here. Now, all those joints, we are saying they are flexible and they do allow movement. Each joint hinges in only one direction, but in the 4 joints, the direction is different. So the end of the limb can move in any direction. So we have joints. Most of these joints that we have, they are hinge joints. This joint here, it is a hinge joint, and it can only move in one direction here. And then we have this joint here, and this joint here is also a hinge joint. It only moves in one direction. But when you look at them, you will see that now this one can only move in this direction, whereas this one can move only in this direction. So those are the different directions that we are talking about, that they can move in different directions, but as they are moving in different directions, they end up moving in all directions. Then we have the other joint which we have seen here. This joint also moves in its own direction. The last tarsal segments often carries organs sensitive to chemicals, and they are called taste senses. So here we have our tarsal. These are the tarsals here. Here at the bottom, that's where we are saying they have a chemical. Down here, they have a chemical which is sensitive to the chemicals. Let's now look at the mechanism of working. We have already seen the different muscles. This muscle, we have talked about it, having this projection from this segment. We have looked at the different joints. We have looked at, this is the femur attached to the tibia, and in between them they have a joint. And we can say that let us take this joint here to be our joint here. Okay, let it be that joint here. We want to see how it moves. Okay, it is folded now. What makes it to be folded like that? So you can see also this one is folded. We want to see how the joint becomes folded in that direction. So here we are saying we have 2 muscles. Let us see how the insect is going to move the joint. When this muscle contracts, it straightens the limb at the joint. So if this muscle here is the one contracting, the limb is going to become straight. This one here is going to become straight like this. It will become straight like that if this muscle contracts. But now when you look at these 2 muscles, this one and this one, you can know that the muscle which is contracting is this one, because this one is very thin and this one is large. The large muscle is the muscle which is contracting, which means that it will be the muscle which is pulling, and the other muscle which is thin will be the muscle which is relaxing. So because this muscle is relaxing, now we are not going to see the leg becoming straight. The leg will not become straight. Why? Because the muscle which is contracting is another muscle. So what we are going to see here is that now our muscle here, which is contracting, is this muscle here. This muscle is the one which is contracting. And how do we know that it is the one contracting? Because it is thicker than this one. Therefore, this one is the one which is contracting. And when it contracts, it is going to pull this exoskeleton, the tibia. This tibia is going to be pulled to come inside. The tibia will be pulled to come this side because it is contracting. Like the way you are seeing here, the muscle is attached on the femur. The big part of the muscle is attached on the femur, and the projection is attached on the tibia. So when the femur muscle here contracts, it is going to pull the tibia to come in this side. So here we are having our femur. This one, the whole of this one is our femur. And we have down, we have our tibia. This one is our tibia. Now, when you look at the muscle here, the muscle is thickening, meaning that it is contracting. And when it contracts, it means now it is pulling the tibia. It is pulling the tibia. When the tibia is pulled, the tibia is going to move in this direction. So that's why we are saying here, when this muscle contracts, it flexes the limb at the joint. So it is going to contract and it's going to pull the tibia to come this side. That's what we are calling flexing, because this muscle here is contracting. And how do we know that it is contracting? By looking at its size. When it becomes thick, it means it is contracting. So now the leg is going to bend. This tibia, because it is moving inside, it will bend. So when you look here, it is bending like that, meaning that the muscle which is contracting is the muscle which is inner. It is the inner muscle which is contracting. The outer muscle here, the outer muscle is relaxing. So that's how the joint is able to bend. So that's what's going to help the insect to move. Notice that the peg and the socket hinge joints are at different angles at each joint. The socket hinge joints and peg joints are at different angles at each joint. Now let us look at this joint here. When you look at this joint here, we have a peg and socket hinge joint, and they are in this direction. When you come down here, we have a socket. This socket, you can see the direction it is facing. And when we come up here, we have a peg. One is up and another one is down. And when we come here, they are this side. So what we are saying is that the socket and hinge joints, they are at different angles. Now, when you look at this one and this one, you can see that they are facing in the other opposite angle. They are moving in that angle like that. Now, when you come to this one in the middle here, when you look at this one in the middle, you will see for it, it is moving in that direction because another one is here. Now, again, when you come to this socket here, this socket now is telling you that one will be going in that direction, meaning another one is somewhere there and this one is here. So when you look at their angles, you will see that they are in different angle. This one is up, down. This one is moving across. This one is moving the other side. So that is what we are saying, that they are moving in different angles. So when you look at the insect, when the insect is moving, here you can see that the three shaded limbs move forward more or less at the same time. So let us first look at these ones. Let's first look at this one up, and we look for the shaded legs. When you look at for the shaded legs, you see that this one here is shaded. You see also this one is shaded. And then you see also this one is shaded. So those ones that are shaded are the ones that are going to first move in front. The other ones that are not shaded, this one, which are not shaded, for them they will stay attached to the ground. And these ones will be lifted, they will move in front, and this one also will move in front, and this one will also move in front. Meanwhile, these other ones, they stay attached at the ground level. Now, when these ones, the other ones have reached at the end, they will also touch the bottom. Now, these other ones now will be the ones which are shaded. The other ones, the second one. This one is shaded. This one is shaded now. And then another one which is shaded is these ones. Now, the other ones which were moving fast, they are now attached firmly on the ground. Now, these ones which were touching themselves on the ground are the ones now that are going to be moved forward. They will move, that moves in that direction, then this one will be lifted to go in that direction, and then this one also will move in that direction. So that's how the insect moves. It moves by lifting those legs in different positions, while the other three remain in contact with the ground. As a result, the insect swings rapidly from sides to sides as it walks. So you see, when the other legs are lifted, it will be as if it is swinging in that direction. Now, when the other ones now are down, it will be as if it is swinging in this direction. So when the different legs are moving, the insect looks as if it is swinging in different directions. Hello, my friends. Thank you very much for participating in the walking of insects. Walking in insects. Please do like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.